And we're back. So this is the before and after of High Life.
We were scum. Trash. Refuse that didn't fit into the system.
Starring Robert Pattinson. This is a 2018 adventure drama horror film in space.
Nice.
It's directed by Claire Denis, a French director. She's been around. Haven't seen anything of hers. But you said you were gonna watch that Let the Sunshine In because of Juliette Binoche.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it. I mean, it's quite a shift from that. That's like a romantic comedy.
Yeah.
And then her follow-up film is a horror / sci-fi movie.
Yeah, it's interesting how IMDb says this is a father and his daughter struggle to survive in deep space where they live in isolation. But in Wikipedia it talks about criminals are sent to a black hole and then they're sexually experimented on. So apparently you read that there's a steamy sex scene or something? Many. Ooh. I don't know. I'm in this because, I don't know, I saw it. I haven't seen any of the trailers. But
I haven't either.
So that's interesting. So but then I heard that it's been received well. And I'm like, okay, sure, Robert Pattinson. It's interesting how the two Twilight leads are doing whatever they want. So that's nice.
I think but are you talking about Kristen Stewart?
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson, they are better actors than
The Harry Potter people.
Maybe you could make that argument. I mean, Robert Pattinson has dedicated himself to doing
weird stuff.
Yeah, Cosmopolis and
Good Life. Oh, he was good in Good Life.
Yeah,
that was an experience.
And then Kristen Stewart's doing all sorts of random stuff too.
Now she's doing Charlie's Angels. Why?
Yeah, well, don't get into that.
Because I mean, Twilight and Harry Potter, I think it's a good comparison. Huge franchises, and just to see where they went. Because I mean, Harry Potter, I think they just made enough money that they don't even need to act. Really.
Yeah, and really, it's only Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson.
No, Rupert Grint has been in TV shows.
He's on Sick Note and stuff, but
yeah,
he's not. Robert Pattinson has actually had some acclaim for his stuff. But anyways,
yeah.
So it's just another kind of cool, weird movie that he's doing, and like we're saying, I don't know anything about the director. I have never seen anything she's done. It'll be interesting to see because we were just looking through. It looks like she's mostly done dramas.
Yeah.
So I guess that element, she's bringing the drama into the horror, sci-fi. So the balance of that would be kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, because I was just reading a review on that newest Conjuring universe film. It's it hits all the notes for horror, but does nothing for drama, and it's just well, typical horror film. So hopefully this one will have some stakes and consequences. I mean, yeah, it's an intriguing premise.
It better be. It's a space movie, and they're going.
It's the next Event Horizon.
Oh, no.
That was.
I have a thing with space movies that feature, trips to a black hole. They just don't always
end well.
Yeah, and they just don't work all the time. I don't know. So I'll be interested to see how that goes as well.
Yeah. So
will it be better than Interstellar?
No.
Will it be more realistic than Interstellar?
I think probably the lines will be better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that's it. So I look forward to that. We're watching it pretty much in daylight, so it's not gonna be that scary. This is the before. And this is after. So
weird.
Yeah. It was not really horror-esque, but it's
no.
I wouldn't even.
There's no horror at all.
Maybe slight thriller.
Just random bursts of violence.
Yeah.
It's pretty brief violence at that.
Yeah, and even the steaminess was very intense. But then it was not what I expected. I thought there would be more.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're looking for steam, this is not the one to go to. Yeah, I feel like there's so much.
Well, I have more questions.
Yeah.
I think I have more questions than answers, I think.
But at the same time, I don't really care.
Yeah.
Like, you don't care about the world. Like,
I
why?
probably won't watch it ever again.
Like, why are they doing this? What's the point?
No, that's why I don't understand. Like, I don't get the mission.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't have to get the mission, but like, it's a suicide mission to go explore a black hole, and then also the Doctor is obsessed with reproduction, and like she wants all the people on board all the women on board to get pregnant.
I think
like what, but why? Like,
yeah.
What? No.
Well, I think they didn't even know. Mission, they didn't even know themselves. Like,
but nobody on that ship is going to survive.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was just to prove a point that you can have kids on the thing.
Maybe she like. You know, what was one thing that maybe we are considering is that maybe she like. I mean, she's a criminal too.
I think so.
Like, didn't they say she killed kids or something? Okay, well...
Or, like, it wasn't good enough to have a name or something?
Right, but I think she's on the ship because she's a criminal, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, maybe she's not really, like... Maybe she was just creating a purpose for herself.
Maybe.
Like, that wasn't actually her mission at all. It was just... Or it wasn't the mission, it was her mission.
Like I would imagine that it's like her role is just to keep them in health.
Yeah. It's like her self-initiated mission.
And then she just had this like, let's do this side project that I thought.
Well, side project. Her passion project. She was like...
Though I did really enjoy the narrative. The narrative. Just like how things were sequenced. Like the beginning, you have those random shots, and then you have him and the baby, and it's like you don't know what's going on. Yeah. And then slowly snapshots of his like past, and they do some world building with that doctor interview in the middle of the film.
Yeah.
Granted, I feel like
that was kind of weird. Like, I feel like we could have had that told to us elsewhere through some.
Yeah, going back on Earth was just weird.
Yeah.
Beyond the flashback,
like the moment on the scene on the train just felt really totally out of place.
Yeah,
but I know it's I know it was necessary for the world of the film because you get the background information on like why they're sending people to space. But
yeah,
I just feel like you could have got that information across.
Because and then definitely I felt that. Prior to that, the movie's been doing a lot of like showing rather than telling because there's hardly any dialogue in this anyway.
Yeah, it's a really visual.
Yeah, and then like you see like that's what I enjoyed in that sense. Like if I had to gain some enjoyment out of this film was that they went the whole just showing then telling and then like random dialogue here and there. Even like the lust from the guys were just like they just acted on it.
Yeah.
And so I guess in terms of like directing, it was very based on visuals rather than dialogue, which
it's a very artsy approach.
Yeah.
To doing like a sci-fi.
Yeah, very low budget, but I feel that the way that she shot it really used the whole low budget at a very effective way. Like,
it's pretty.
You establish the shots and then never show it again, and you just assume.
Yeah, because that's all you need.
Yeah, which is great. Yeah, and then I mean they use the rooms, the hallways, and they repeat using them, so you know what those rooms are about, anyways. Yeah. And like the establishing shots are really clear. Like you have when they cut themselves, like the room they enter was just like the baby delivery chair, and then bam, this is the medical bay. Mm-hmm. But granted, like if you actually look at this like with a normal sci-fi lens, nothing makes sense. Like who's driving the ship?
Yeah.
Like
don't even show a command center.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's no captain here.
No.
And then it just I think you just sort of like accept that nothing's gonna be answered. But then one thing that did throw me off was how did they bump into the other ship?
Yeah.
Like, was there two black holes or what have you? And
well, because the second ship would have been launched like
later,
so much later.
Yeah, but they caught up with it.
Like even if on Earth the second ship was launched like a day later, it would take forever to reach them.
So then that was kind of weird. So I don't know. Like, was there time travel involved? I don't know. But I mean, I did enjoy like like this story. I feel like this would have been a great short story, like in a collection of sci-fi stuff. Like I can totally imagine that. And like the whole growing up. I mean, I give props for Pattinson just acting with a baby. If I had to give props for something.
Yeah, actually, that was like that for me is the best part of the film.
Yeah. Was
actually the beginning when you're establishing his backstory and his relationship with his daughter.
Yeah.
Who you'll see, you see later on as an older girl.
Mm-hmm.
But there's those scenes with him and the baby, and he's talking to the baby.
Yeah.
And you get, like, the exposition is like, in, you get his backstory through his dialogue with the baby, which is pretty sparse.
Yeah.
But it's all you need.
Yeah.
And I liked the way that the movie kind of built that relationship up, and also told you, like, kind of set up the narrative of what happened.
Yeah.
He made like little comments like, well, I can't think right now, but but he was talking to the baby and he was saying like, oh, they did this, and they did this, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then he's like, the baby's playing with his scar, and he's like talking about his scar, and then later on you see what happens. So
yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it in the sense where, I think it's just how the editing was done. Where he threw all the bodies out of the ship, and then you're like, what the frick? Like, oh, he's not alone.
Yeah.
And then later on, then we get snippets, and like, oh, okay, this is happening. Like, a lot of things have happened.
Well, you had to, like, I think you have to tell this story in a non-linear way.
Because it was linear, and it was just like
way.
typical space horror.
Yeah.
Everyone died.
It wouldn't work.
And it would
the only way this movie builds up suspense and like you as a viewer wanting to know more is by being non-linear and having those things kind of out of sequence, and then you're filling in the gaps and going back. And when you see him like flushing the bodies out of the ship, you're like, okay. And also, like, how did they die? And why are there only 5 of them? And like
And then we know Juliette, what her face is in it, but she didn't get thrown out, and then we get then we
and
figure
also
out
the
why.
the redheaded girl, the British girl, she's not even one of the bodies, but then he like has that vision of her like floating in the what, I don't know what you call it, that the bay where they leave, like the departure bay or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But she's not one of the bodies that he pushes out, right?
Yeah,
so
that. Oh no, yeah. No,
so then you're kind of thinking like,
sense.
okay, wait,
because I was like, she's not alive, is she?
Yeah.
And like you were talking about how the visuals were pretty intense for this budget. I think that is a highlight of like.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like,
stuff.
I mean, obviously the spaceship looks like a juice box.
Yeah,
like it does. It looks like a juice box
with 3 thrusters.
And I was actually kind of surprised because I feel like she probably didn't need to show the outside of the spaceship at all.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't any real reason to show it.
Yeah, it does remind you of the budget limitations when they show you any of the tech.
But you're kind of right though. I mean, you do kind of just accept it.
Yeah.
Because you know that, well, I mean, I think as the movie goes on, you kind of just know that this is like a human drama set in space. But it's not really about space. Like, space doesn't actually matter.
Yeah. Like the whole... Yeah, I think the whole, like, criminal thing...
Like, the black hole doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
It's just a convenient plot device.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even really used as a plot device anyways.
No.
But the black hole itself actually looked good.
Yeah.
Like, I would say it actually looked good.
I was like, did they take photos?
Yeah.
Because it does remind me of the photo, and it's just like, but I'm pretty sure this movie came out prior to the photo.
Probably.
So, props on that. I agree. I wouldn't want to watch this again, but it's like a nice, cool exist. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see Robert Pattinson to keep doing just whatever comes his way in terms of just non-mainstream.
Yeah, he's a way better actor than I ever gave him credit for. What? Yeah. I still want to know though, like, was that a creature?
That's true. Yeah, that
like
steamy sex scene.
Like, what happened in that scene?
I'm pretty sure it became like furry, and then there was a thing that touched her back too.
Yeah,
and I was like,
there was like a tail that touched her, but that was totally left
unexplained.
So
She's
I don't know.
a sex addict.
When that happened, I thought, okay, maybe this movie's gonna get a little crazy.
Yeah, because it was pretty crazy.
But then nothing happened.
Yeah.
Right, and this movie could have totally gone in like the interstellar route with the black hole, and done like have them go through the black hole, and all this stuff happens, and blah blah.
Nope.
They travel back, and the daughter and the father can be with the mother, and blah blah. Nope.
Thank God.
It's just realistic,
and it's not like a slasher film. It's just like people just starting getting pissed off as of human interaction.
Yeah, and then add in the element of their criminality too.
Yeah, so it feels natural.
Yeah.
That they would attack each other. Because I think, if they... So yeah, I think in terms of the story, it's like all these little pieces that explains a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, why are they in space? Well, they're on a mission. Why are they, like, violent? Well, they're criminals. But it doesn't really matter, like, what kind of crime, what kind of mission. Mm-hmm. But it just explains, like, yeah, we sent out that one girl, she died, and then that Asian lady got angry and she tried to kill the doctor. Well, she's a criminal, so that sort of makes sense. Mm-hmm. So there's... Yeah, now I think this is a movie where you, like, look back, then it's like, oh, it wasn't that bad.
No, I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's kind of...
It's a lot smarter when you talk about it rather than when you're experiencing it, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think, not that every movie has to have a message. But I just think that, like, this movie kind of is, like, aimless in a way.
That's true.
This movie kind of drifts. Just like a drifter. Yeah, just like the drifters in the movie, this movie kind of drifts. Like, the narrative just kind of drifts.
Like, there's a mission, but it's like, okay, what though? What about it?
Well, and you also know that already, like, at the beginning, the mission failed. Mm-hmm. Because you have Robert Pattinson and his baby.
Yeah.
And they're by themselves, and you're like, what happened to the crew? Obviously, it somehow failed or backfired or whatever. But
so that was interesting.
Yeah.
I would say that was interesting.
Yeah. But I think, again, like, this movie only works if it's a non-linear narrative. And it is very, like, visual and artsy. So, like...
There's a lot of themes happening.
Yeah,
like those, like...
I think it's mismarketed as, like, a horror sci-fi.
Oh, no.
Because if you told somebody that, and then a fan of one of those genres went to see it, they'd be like... I think they'd be pretty bored.
This is more like art house drama in space.
In space.
Yes, quotations in space. Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, this could have been, like, on Earth, post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Like, the setting doesn't really matter. You just need something to set up, like, to put them into their place. Like, they are here because of blah. And blah could be anything. Mm-hmm. Just space works out a lot easier because they're isolated.
Yeah. And the only other thing that I would say is that, like, Robert Pattinson's character has that kind of redemption arc. Mm-hmm. As a criminal, yes, he did some, like, terrible things in his childhood, and then, he's kind of forced into this emergency situation where he has to take care of this baby because he's the only one left.
Yeah.
And so he kind of redeems himself in that way. But you don't really feel, like, the power of... Like, you don't really feel that being kind of a powerful arc in the movie.
Yeah, so I feel like...
Like, I noticed it. I noticed the redemption arc. I was like, okay, yeah, so he's going on this kind of redemption arc. Mm-hmm. But it didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't any more invested in his character because of that.
I think it's due to, like, just even the actual characters to begin with. Like, there's not much there. Mm-hmm. But they're archetypes, as in he's just this dude who's just more neutral compared to everyone else. Like, the black guy died, just laying down. Like, we didn't know. Like, there's not much there, so it's like, are we?
You don't spend a lot.
But at the same time, I don't think we're grasping at straws to find, like, substance here. Like, and I think in terms of characters, it's much more of, like, a character study of, like, these people put in this isolated place, and one person is in charge, and it just goes to, like, shit, and then he has to take care of a kid, and he just, like, adapts, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's... Yeah, even with the redemption thing, it's like, no, we didn't know him enough. Or, like, what he did at the end to, like, okay, they are equal.
this movie, because the last kind of like horror sci-fi movie I saw was Alien Covenant, and like I really appreciated the building of this movie, like the building of the momentum, the suspense of like what happened to the crew and stuff, because in Alien Covenant, in like the first 15 the first 15 minutes of
Everyone
Alien
dies.
Covenant, like people, like all these highly professional, trained, people just do the stupidest things, and like everything goes to shit in 15 minutes, and you're like, whoa.
And then it's David for the rest of the film.
And then you just like, but everything goes to shit, so you're like, whoa, okay, wow, this movie just shot like off to the races. Whereas this one's more of a slow burner.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's kind of, it is kind of nice to watch that, rather than just see everything be chaos at once.
Yeah. And I think it, like, even though it's like drifting and you don't know where it's going, it had a good ending.
Yeah.
Like you just accepted the
you kind of knew
helplessness of just like the futileness of this entire thing.
No matter what they do,
they're done
anyways. So might as well take that chance, and like we were saying, I think the difference between the daughter and the daughter and the father going on that trip, like into the event horizon or whatever, the black hole, and the woman who does it earlier in the film, it's just to kind of close out that father-daughter relationship in like kind of a sweet moment, rather than ending on a super bleak note, which they easily could have done. But
yeah. So with all that said, I think I we'll look forward to whatever Patterson signs up on. And so that's it, I guess. Anything else to add?
No. Watchable, but not overly interesting.
Yeah, you like need to spend. You can't multitask. If you're like easily distracted, like you need to like commit to this. This is a movie where you need to sit down and just watch. Because if you're doing some other stuff, like if this goes on Netflix, it's gonna like bomb.
Yeah,
because attention span, you're like,
people will watch it for 5 minutes and like, I'm gonna done. Yeah.
So, anyways, that's it. We are done here with High Life. Keep liking, keep watching, and subscribe and share, because sharing is caring. Anyway, that's it for this before and after of High Life. Out.